Welcome back, everybody. This is James White with Freaking Reviews, bringing you As Seen on TV product reviews, gadget reviews, and more. Now, recently I had a viewer request something Pop-Tart related. I went on Amazon and I found this, which is supposedly a mini Pop-Tart maker. It's very mini. They look like chicken nugget sized Pop-Tarts. Turns out it's not really a very new item either, but that doesn't matter. We're gonna see if it works in today's video. All right, before I get too much further, let's go back to the unboxing and see how that went. All right, here it is. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed when I first looked at this box. Not only is it kind of smashed up, but it's very old. Look at this. When I perused the back, I saw here, copyright 2012. So it's not new. It's not a new item. It's presented like it's new, but it's not new. Let me first crack this open and see what's inside. Look how mangled that is. Come on now. All right, here we go. Has that been used? Hopefully not. This is the kind of blue thing just kind of sitting in there loosely. Here's some sticks. Those don't look used. I guess that's a good sign. Some instructions, so I have to look that over carefully. It's like it's already starting to fade. Let's pull out the unit itself. Let's take a look at the box here for what the claims are. Mini pastries on a stick. Make your own tasty creations at home. Perfect for parties or fun any day. Easy to use, non-stick coating, cleans up in a breeze. I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, it seems new. All right, it does not look used. I was a little worried as old as it is, but it looks like it's new. Is this how small they're gonna be? Wait a second, that's like the size of my thumb. They take mini to an extreme level here, don't they? So anyways, I paid 70 bucks on Amazon. I wonder why it was so expensive. Now I realize it's because it's something that's kind of a vintage item. People on Amazon who like it say it's fun to use, and kids loved it. Those who didn't like it said it's not fun. Most complaints were the Pop-Tarts were just too small. All right, I've gone on the instructions. There's several different areas you have to kind of take note of. I actually created kind of a cheat sheet compiling all of them into one list. You've got one page of helpful hints over here. You got another page of helpful hints here, and then you have the recipes themselves. So we'll see how it goes. I figured I would pick the easiest one in here, which seems to be berry chocolate mini Pop-Tart pastries. I did clean this off with some warm soapy water. I also ran it through a cycle just to burn off any residue on there, so I think I'm ready to get started with it. A couple observations: there's no on-off switch. You plug it in, it goes on. You unplug it, it goes off. There's also this cutter that was included with the box, and their part list doesn't even mention it. What's also interesting is that it seems to have two sharp sides, and that one's bigger than the other. I was thinking maybe that one was going to lock in on top of the other one, maybe put the big one on the bottom, the small one on top. Instructions don't mention anything about that, so I'm just going to go into that assumption and hope that it's right. So I'm hoping I can make this work on the first attempt. If not, I'm going to keep trying until I do. So the first step is to actually just lightly coat it with some cooking spray. So let's do that. Step 2 says to unroll a pie crust onto a lightly floured surface. What's interesting is that the recipes calls for refrigerated rolled pie crust, but their helpful hints on the pie crust says to let it go to room temperature. So we have room temperature here, we have refrigerated here. So it's kind of right now in between the two of those, so I'll make that work. All right, so we're supposed to use this dough cutter to cut 12 squares, one for each side. We're making 6 here. And by the way, it says you're supposed to make 6 each time. If you do less than that, it's not going to cook evenly, so I'm doing 6. I might vary the recipe a little bit to try a few different tastes, but hopefully the whole thing works the first time around. I need 12 of these. I'm going to do half big and half small. All right, here we go. I've got big, small, big, small. Hopefully my assumptions are correct about that. Now the next thing I'm supposed to do is actually to press these into the bottom of the molds. I guess I'm going to put the big ones on the bottom. I'm not really sure. They don't really make that too clear. I think I'm going to try 3 with the big ones on the bottom and 3 with the small ones on the bottom and see if there's any difference. The next step is to spoon a half teaspoon of hazelnut spread, although in their general instructions they say usually use 1 teaspoon. I'm going with a half because that's what the instructions call for, so let's do it. A half teaspoon is not very much. I mean, that's a half teaspoon, very small. Kind of make it a big half teaspoon here. For 2, I'm going to try just regular peanut butter. The next thing we're supposed to do is use these skewers to put on top of it. I'm only going to do 3 because Pop-Tarts tells you have skewers in them. So there's ridges right here where the skewers are supposed to line up. I'm going to do 3 skewers, 3 non-skewers. Now we're supposed to do a half raspberry in each one. I'm only doing 4 raspberries, some with, some without. All right, so now I've got to put the other side of the dough on there. I'm going to put small with big and big with small, so hopefully that works out. All right, so these couple big ones here. All right, I guess that's going to work. I'm going to try a big with a big and a small with a small also. I've got a big topping. We got a big crust with a big crust over here. I got a small with a small right there, and a big with a small right here. I've got a bunch of different configurations. Hopefully I get some idea of which one's the best. Maybe they're all gonna be good. All right, so now what I'm supposed to do is plug in the Pop-Tarts maker and close the lid. It says cook 3 to 5 minutes, but it does say to check often to make sure it's not getting burnt. Now we wait and see what happens. Am I confident that this is gonna come out good? I'm maybe 50% confident. I think it might. It might, I'm not sure. Whether it works or not is almost beside the point, because those are some of the smallest Pop-Tarts I've ever seen. As fun as it might be for some people, it's kind of a lot of work for others. Some people might just find it easier to go get some Pop-Tarts from the store and call it good. At the 1 minute mark, I hear sizzling. All right, it's almost a 3 minute mark. Let me check this. It's kind of smoking a little bit too. Oh, wow, okay. Are these golden brown? The edges are golden brown, but the centers are not. I'm gonna put it on a little bit longer. I feel like the edges are gonna get burnt and the centers are not. They say this red light is on all the time, but this green light, they say it's green. It's kind of green and yellow, but that's gonna kind of kick on and off. All right, 4 minute mark. Let's take a peek. Not much change between 3 and 4 minutes. Look at the other side. Oh, it's getting dark. I wonder if I can flip these. Let me see. Because the bottom is, it looks like it's more done than the top is. Oh yeah, the bottom is more done. Much more done. I wonder if I can put them back in there for just a little bit longer with the bottoms on the hotter side. I'm improvising here to see if I can get this to work. I want it to work right the first time. I also think putting that half raspberry on there does lift the center of it up, so that might be part of the problem. I'm not quite sure. I didn't put a half raspberry on the peanut butter sides, and they still seem like the center wasn't as cooked. That looks like it could be a bit of a mess to clean up. It seemed like it's uneven. Some seem to cook more than others. One side seemed to cook more than others. All right, so while these are cooling off, I am supposed to make the topping, and that'll be it. In a small bowl, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. All right, 1/2 to 1 1/4 teaspoons of milk. A little bit of food coloring. We're starting to look like something here. Spread this on the pastries here. Top with some sprinkles. All right, well, I was a little too slow on the sprinkles. I only got sprinkles to stick to one of them. Most of them ended up on the plate. And I'm looking at the different crusts here. It looks like it didn't really seem to matter if I used big and small together or separate. It doesn't seem to matter. I'll be completely honest, it came out far better than I expected it was going to, based on the kind of bad reviews in there. I mean, a lot of people are complaining how small they are. They are small, but it seemed like it worked like it's supposed to. And I guess I haven't tried it yet. Let me taste a couple of these and see how they go. Do I really need this stick though? I mean, this skewer isn't really doing much. It's kind of sliding around anyways. Don't need the skewer. Here we go. I seem to get much more raspberry than hazelnut on that one. It's not too bad though. Let me try one of the peanut butter ones without the raspberry. Peanut butter without raspberry. I'm not sure the peanut butter particularly works in this one, but it did cook properly. All right, there's one cut open. It looks about as I expected. I'm not sure that looks like a real Pop-Tart on the inside, but not bad. If you compare it to a full-size Pop-Tart, it's definitely a lot smaller, and I'm not sure the skewers are even necessary. But with that said, nothing really went wrong. I could probably have done this a few more times and got it even better. It's not even. The Pop-Tarts are minuscule. It's a lot of work, but it did work. If you've tried something like this, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.